Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, the basketball edition. I hope you're having a wonderful election day, or if you're not watching this on Tuesday, whatever day it is, I hope it's wonderful for you. Also, if you've not subscribed to the Adrienne Ross Show, please do so. All of your support is always appreciated. Now, let's get to today's topic. Today's topic is yesterday's press conference with Stephanie White, new coach of the Indiana Fever. I actually did a live stream last night, actually 2 live streams, because the first live stream, the internet decided to go kablooey, or YouTube decided to go kablooey, something with kablooey. And so I was frozen, and everybody let me know in the chat that I was frozen. And so we'd gone through much of what I wanted to point out, but I really wanted to hear from everyone else. So I ended up just switching over, doing another one. So all that to say, we did 2 parts last night, and we talked quite a bit about Stephanie White and about what I observed from her press conference. I know not everyone watches live streams after the fact. If they don't catch it live, a lot of people don't watch the playback, although I have received some comments from people who have. But nonetheless, I wanted to point out a few things in a separate video. I want to talk about my 5 top takeaways from Stephanie White's press conference that I feel will have immediate impact on the Indiana Fever. Immediate impact, because that's what we want to see. There are some things, of course, that'll happen down the road. But what are 5 things that I think will immediately, positively affect the Indiana Fever and all the good stuff? Because I saw a lot of good stuff in that press conference. Here are 5 things I believe will have an immediate impact. So, number 1, and I did put this in order. Number 1, Stephanie White's passion for this team, for coming back to Indiana, for having the privilege of coaching Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, because she mentioned them quite a few times. That stands out to me, that it was not just a job for her. Now, yeah, coaching is a job, right? It is a job, just like playing is a job. But there was so much more that I felt from her. It was about, this feels right. This is home, and it feels right to be home. And I can't wait to get started with this team.
Hunger and a desire to win, but there's also something that's very poised and calming about doing it at home with the people that you love and the people that you want to go to battle with every single day.
I feel like it wasn't some kind of snow job. Like, you could sense that this is home, that she is passionate, and that she's ready to work with this team. And that, to me, is number 1, because that will determine how everything else flows. How excited are you? How passionate are you? Because those around her will feed off of that kind of passion. That's why I put that at the top. And it really isn't just Stephanie's passion. You saw it in Amber Cox. You certainly saw it in Kelly Kroskoff. And yes, we saw it in Stephanie White. And then when you looked in the crowd, or when you saw pictures of the crowd, meaning the 3 people in the crowd who belong to the Indiana Fever organization, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hall, you can see they're all smiles. It has a way of pouring over. So that, to me, is number 1. Before X's and O's, before anything else. How committed are you, coach? How passionate are you, coach? And wow, this is home? All right, we can roll with that. Number 2, Stephanie White is confident. She knows what she's doing. You can tell she knows what she's talking about, and she's already confident that she can do what she told Pat Boylan in about a 15-minute interview after the press conference sometime. She said, I'm confident. I know what I bring to the table. That's what she said. I know what I bring to the table. So I said this in the lives last time. I'm going to say it again. I'm not trying to be disrespectful toward Christy Sides, but the comparison is clear. It's obvious. Christy Sides often use the term, we got to figure out. We got to figure it out. They've got to figure it out. We over and over, like you could do a whole like montage of that. Figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. And she didn't present herself as confident. And just as passion flows over to a team, So does a lack of confidence. They sense when you don't have the confidence. They sense when you call the timeout and you don't have nothing to say. Or better, when you're better, not meaning like better, like it's a good thing, but even more, they sense it when you don't call the timeout because you don't know to call the timeout, etc. But Stephanie White clearly is confident that she can do the job. Not just the X's and O's, although that's important, but she understands that the eyeballs are going to be there. She understands what a big moment this is, and she's confident that she can do it. That is important. So notice I started with that, her passion and her confidence. Why? Because it's going to spill down so that they can receive the rest of what she has for this team. Because they're going to meet her with confidence as well. Caitlin Clark is a confident player, right? They tried to knock it out of her early in the season. No. The monster arose, right? Okay. So number 3, she respects the personnel. Oh my goodness, is this huge?
When you think about the great point guards and post players that our game, not just our league, but our game has seen, they are going to go as the greatest. And I'm excited about the opportunity to work with them and to be able to come back and work with another 22. A generational player in Caitlin Clark, a generational player in Aaliyah Boston. Certainly when you think about back-to-back Rookie of the Years and what each of those players have done up until this point for their universities, in the game of basketball, for the women's basketball culture and community. It's unprecedented, and to be able to work with those guys and Kelsey Mitchell, who I think has weathered the storm of Indiana Fever basketball, and I felt like had the best year of her career, this year. And really, when you think about teams, you think about a core 3, right? You think about a big 3, and to be able to work with.
She used terminology like Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark will be the greatest in the history of the game. That kind of respect. Again, Christy Sides, she was hesitant, it seemed, particularly with Caitlin, to speak too highly of her. I don't know if that's because everybody in this league feels like they got to tone down Caitlin so other people don't feel bad and they can lift up all this stuff. But she had no problem saying over and over again, making it clear that she believes in this team. And in the interview with Pat Boylan, also mentioning Kelsey Mitchell. That's a good sign. We want Kelsey back. Okay, we do. So that's a good sign. But she's so aware of what comes to the table with Caitlin, which Lynn Dunn admittedly didn't realize all that comes with Caitlin Clark, and obviously Christy Sides as well. Stephanie White, she's following Caitlin since she was in 8th grade. She's called her college game. She's already studying tape. So she's speaking well of them. You know what that does to a player's confidence? The new coach coming in actually believes in us, actually isn't saying, oh, we're going to change everything, right? But here's the coach who's calling him by name, who's saying you're going to be the greatest right off the bat. Man, that makes me want to go out and play if I'm on her team. So that understanding that she's got talent that got to be shored up, but man, we working with something good. Man, I believe in you ladies. Man, we talking. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me get to this 4th one. What are we talking? Well, number 4, she has a bold vision, and she's made that clear. And I got to tell you, even though this is basketball, it's not gospel, but it reminds me when I say, listen how she's articulating the vision, it reminds me of the scripture in Habakkuk 2:2, by the way, which I find interesting. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 talks about write the vision and make it plain so those who hear it can run with it. So what is she doing? Again, I'm not saying this is gospel. I'm just saying that's what jumped out at me because there's truth in that. Write the vision and make it plain so that others can run with it. She came right up there. She didn't make any bones about it. What's she talking about? Hanging a banner. What is she talking about? Celebrating a championship. So what are these 3 players who are there in the room and others who are not in the room, but surely are going to hear this? What are they hearing?
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012. So I just want to thank everybody for coming. Really excited, really looking forward to this, and can't wait to get started.
She set the standard. She wrote the vision. She spoke the vision. She made it plain. Now what? Now we can run with it. Now we can go with it, right? She didn't come in there saying, well, we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully we'll make it back to the playoffs again. No, the goal here is to win. The goal here is to get back to championship basketball. The goal is to hang a banner, and we will celebrate, she said, out there on the court. And I'll sit right back in here with you guys again at the table, and we'll celebrate here with you. I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to play coy. I'm not going to act like this is not the goal. The goal is a championship. She made it plain. And again, when you hear that as a player, you're like, that's all we wanted to know, because that's what we're ready for. And if you were feeling a little insecure, you know what? Now you as a player, yeah, you got a little bit more confidence now. Nah, you got a whole lot more confidence now. And you heard them talking about part of the vision. We're gonna bring in players. Kelly Krauskopf says it's roster building time. That's what she said. So now, since the goal is the banner, the goal is a championship, then now I can trust they're going to bring in the pieces as best as they can to make that happen. Number 5. And though it's number 5, it's still extremely important. So it's one of my top takeaways for an immediate impact. Stephanie White embraces all that comes with the new eyeballs, with the packed out arenas, those who are rooting for you and those who are rooting against you. In other words, she embraces the Caitlin Clark effect.
When you see these sellouts and these fans, and for you personally, how much are you looking forward to being able to coach in an atmosphere like they've had here this past year?
I'm excited. That's the added era and realm of having fans in the building, whether they're cheering for you or not, is huge. Competitors love it. Embracing opportunities to play in front of a lot of fans, and just by doing what you love to do every single day, just by signing autographs before or after the game, right? Just by getting on the floor after a loose ball. And so this is such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players, for us who have been around for a long time, and I'm embracing this. I will always embrace it. I don't think any of us will ever take it for granted, because this is what we envision. And now we get an opportunity to live it.
I did a video some time ago when we started talking about free agency, and I said those who should not come to the Indiana Fever are players who cannot handle the attention they're going to get, who cannot handle the scrutiny they're going to get, who cannot handle even the trolls, who cannot handle the hoopla that comes with being a part of the Indiana Fever. Well, that is not just for players, it's also for coaches. And Stephanie White is excited about it. She talked about signing autographs and then diving on the floor for loose balls. She understands in this day and age, it's not just go out there, play in front of a few people, and go on back to the locker room. No, there's some signing autographs that comes with this thing now. Right? There's some giving the fans what they want to see, and, having some haters out there as well. She says, this is what we have been waiting for, and it's here. I'm embracing it. That is essential, because there's a whole lot of noise. We know, we've been hearing it. Whole lot of noise, whole lot of nonsense, whole lot of accusations because of the additional eyeballs. Stephanie White says, listen, this is what we wanted all along. Bring it on. Happen. So those are my 5 takeaways from Stephanie White's press conference. Not just any takeaways, because I could go on, and I did in the live stream. So make sure you watch part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. Okay. I could go on, but for now, these are the 5 takeaways I believe will make an impact immediately on this team. I don't have to wait till we get into preseason to start thinking championship. I don't have to wait till we get in preseason to see my coach's passion. I already know she's passionate. I already can tell she's confident. I already know she respects the personnel, and she's already made the vision plain. So now what? We're already saying, let's go. Let's run with it. So there you have it. You can share what you think in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not done so. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly. Hey, let's go Fever.